What's up, guys? Welcome to Florida. We are watching a game between Julian and Ungers. And we have Julian playing as the Dutch and Ungers as Germans. On this map, you start with a market, both players starting with their market. Sometimes it bugs out, at least back in the day. But right here, both players do have their market. And we might have to slow down the scroll speed here. I think this is a rec from Julian, so the scroll speed is very quick. Let's just click that real quick. That should reset it. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Yeah, Julian's a fast boy. He is one of the best, and so is Ungers. These guys are both pretty much top two in the tournaments and in the ladder as well over the past few, maybe 6 months, maybe a little bit farther back, as maybe a year, unless Kaiser Klein comes back, that is. But regardless, both of these guys, very high-level players. Looks like Ungers is going for a trade post here. And how exactly did he do that? Did he get a treasure? Let's see. What did he get? I don't see anything from him. So he must have just used the market and maybe gathering some gold to buy for some wood there. He is cutting it pretty close on the villager TC idle TC time, but he is able to clear that, so it looks like he does have hunting dogs as well. Let's take a look. 0.84 food per second. Yeah, that is hunting dogs, so pretty nice start for him. Julian just picks up 80 food there, so that's good for him, definitely. Let's take a look at where he is. He is, oh, actually, you know what, I was wrong on that. 0.84 is the standard hunt gather rate, so Ungers does not have hunting dogs, and actually Julian does, so he was able to utilize the extra wood at the start. And obviously Dutch starts with a lot of coin, so he just gathered a little bit extra from the mine. He's going to go with a 14 vil age up, eating the sheep, and that 80 food treasure that he found is going to help him get up with 14 vils, which is not standard for Dutch, not at all. But he's able to do that with very little idle time. Going up with Quartermaster, his 3 vils are still on the way. Let's take a look over at Ungers. The 2 settler wagons drop actually a little bit sooner because of that trading post. And meanwhile, Julian is looking to take another 75 XP treasure. That's pretty solid. He's not going to totally negate the TP that the German player has, but 75 XP is more than one pass, so that's a very solid treasure to pick up, as well as killing the alligators, another 10 XP each, so it's like 95 XP. So this matchup can be pretty interesting because Dutch is often forced to make 1 or 2 batches of pikemen just to defend the free Uhlans in H2, and that can delay one of their banks. It can make it pretty difficult to get the 4th, or depending on if you're going for a 5th bank, it can make it pretty difficult. So we'll have to see how Julian handles this. He looks like he's about to drop his first one right now. It should be dropping. Okay, and let's take a look at, see if there's anything special in the decks. So Bank of Rotterdam and Amsterdam are in the deck for extra banks in case he gets to that point. Merchant. Oh wow, you know what? I don't even think I realized they added to those cards that you can build 5 extra villagers each, so that would put the 50 vil limit up to 60 if you send both of those. He's a little bit idle TC time here, going 700 wood first, so I'm going to guess that he's going to drop barracks and then follow that up with a couple banks. Ungers is a little bit behind in the age. Just let's remember that Dutch did age up with 14 vils, so that is a very quick age up. So German's not, behind with their standard time. He's going to go 17 vil pop, maybe a little bit of idle time because he went for the TP and well, no, hunting dogs was a little bit later. So, but still, getting that TP is not standard for Germany, so you have to sacrifice a little bit of time, probably idle TC time. So he's going to go first shipment in H2, the 3 settler wagons, and dropping a stable. Let's see if he does queue up steel traps. So I was looking to see what he was going to do. Another great treasure for Julian back here, 100 food. And he is dropping a barracks. He has the second bank from 700 wood, dropping the third bank from 700 wood. So he waited a little bit to get that barracks foundation drop. He made sure to get that second bank placed before starting that. Because he wasn't going to make pikes that early anyway. So he does have the envoy out front watching for the free Ulan. Fourth bank coming down now, so that's good timing. And he's got pikes in queue. He's going to be able to get a few out at least. You don't need too many, but he is going to be able to get 5. And at this point, he doesn't even need any villagers on gold or on the silver mine to produce villas with the 4 banks. Following it up with 600 wood. So he wants 700 wood, 1 bank, and then 600 wood. He's got 5 pike. And he's going to be just fine defending for now. Let's see what Ungers goes for. Okay, he does have the 2 Ulan going out for a raid. He went 3 Settler Wagons, 700 coins. So he's going for a faster age up. Likely. And 2 TPs. That is very important to note. That he did get a second one in transition to H2. So that'll help his shipment curve quite a bit. Which is why he's going for the... not quite straight FF, but it's... You could hardly even call it a semi-FF because he'll be up so early. It's almost a straight FF. And he's going to take this, or try to take this treasure over here, 120 coin. But the 5 pike are on the way, and he's going to have to abandon this treasure. Yeah, this is going to be... I mean, he could still get it if he micros well here. It's unlikely. The Ulan do get away. That's actually very good micro to save those. He gets the Guardian, but he's not going to pick up the treasure. That's going to Julian. So Julian getting another great treasure. He's just on a roll with these treasures. It's pretty ridiculous. Sub 7-minute treasures that he's picked up. And Ungers is actually getting great coats right now. So I wonder if that means he's going to go for like a FI? Okay, 1,000 wood. That is a little bit of a defensive shipment once you get up. He's up at before 7:15. Queuing up War Wagon and going 1,000 wood. He'll probably drop 2 barracks off that, or possibly a TC. And let's take a look at Julian now. He is on the way up. He has a stable from the 600 wood. He's got a skirmisher in queue. Very beneficial for Dutch that they're able to do that while in transition to H3, so they can get a batch or 2 out to contest the opponent's H3 skirmishers. And he's getting gang saw as well. So that typically, to me, I'll take that as a sign that he's not going to send 1,000 wood. And he's got 5 banks up too. That's, I mean, yeah, okay. He's going to go 8 skirm for defensive purposes right off the bat, anticipating a lot of pressure from German. Yeah, he's going skirm Reuter. He's got all the upgrades that he needs. He's got the 5 banks. He's pretty much set up. The only thing he could potentially want to add in the near future is maybe a second barracks or a second stable, depending on what he sees from his opponent. And Ungers is... Oh, a forward barracks is what he's going for. That 1,000 wood is already gathered up. Yeah, I was going to say maybe he canceled it, but no, he dropped it. A TC is what he's going for. Okay, so a barracks and a TC is what Ungers opted for from that 1,000 wood, as well as some houses, of course. And skirmisher shipment following it up, so he's not going to be too far behind in the mass. And economically, he's definitely behind a little bit because of the 5 banks. He's at 23 vills, plus, let's see, he's got 8 Settler Wagons, so that's 31 vills versus 24 plus 5 banks. So yeah, he's definitely... Dutch is definitely ahead a little bit in the economy department here. And we have some pressure coming up to the middle of the base. This Settler Wagon likely, yes, he is going down for sure. And following up the skirmisher shipment with 9 Reuters, he's going to be buying wood for houses here to keep his production going. And he's got a good composition right now. He's picking off the Explorer. Doesn't want to get trapped underneath this barracks with potential pop and maybe these Ulan flanking, so he's going to be very cautious here. He has a skirmisher count, so he's very happy to take this trade. Gets a little bit more of an advantage with the ranged unit composition there. And while we have a little bit of time as Julian backs off, I want to remind you guys that Julian, obviously one of the best players in the game, has recently come out with his civ guide. And if you guys haven't taken a look at that yet, I'll put a link in the description of this video. He's got guides for every civ and packages for the types of civs, whether it's European or native, Asian, African, whatever. He's got everything you could possibly want to know about the game, and tons of videos and strategies, multiple strategies for each civ. So if you guys don't already know about that, it's a pretty cool thing that he's done, put a lot of time into. And so yeah, I'll put a link in the description where you can check that out and support Julian, who's been one of the top players in this game for quite a few years. So that's cool. Cool that he did that, put a lot of effort into it. You guys should check it out. Back to the game we have at hand here. Looks like we're settling in a little bit for a little bit of a boom. I don't know. Let's take a look and see if Julian was able to scout. He does not know about the second TC. Even though it's a forward TC, it's kind of questionable for Ungers to put it so forward. I guess it gives him a little bit more map control, but risking showing his opponent that it could put him at risk for a big timing push. So luckily his opponent does not yet know about that, but he's trying to keep up production from 2 TCs and 1 barracks. So right now, military-wise, Julian's going to be ahead because he's just producing out of the 1 TC and likely trying to keep production from the barracks and the stable. Right now, just the stable, but he's constantly popped. So losing these couple of villagers, not even a huge deal because he's just so pop capped. Like, he has the res to make units, like queue up a Reuter and a skirmisher and a villager right now. So, oh, he's trying to pop Miniman. I think he was anticipating maybe a little bit of a push there. Cancels it just in time. He's getting Cav combat shipment coming in with these Vet Hussar and 17 Reuters. So he's looking to push right here. This could be a pretty close fight. I'm not sure who would have the advantage in this. It could go either way. It's really dependent on micro at this point with these numbers. Vet Hussar with Cav combat are very tough though. That's quite a bit of HP. He can definitely add. I mean, let's see what he's looking to do here. He's got still a bunch of villagers on coin. I would say after this mine, probably send them all over to this hunt over here, or he could go back to gold here and go with the Skirm Goon composition that he's going for right now. But I think, I mean, there's not that many war wagons, and you could definitely one-shot those with the skirmishers. Let's see, he does not have. Okay, he does infantry combats in the deck, but he hasn't sent it yet. So let's head back over. Oh, Black Riders. You know, it's never a bad card, I don't think. I mean, they're very strong units, high HP. Unfortunately, their armor is hand resist instead of range resist. Not all that useful in most fights, but yeah, interesting call versus Dutch because he can. I don't know. They're pretty vulnerable to skirms and Reuters. But I guess he does now have a nice rounded out composition. I mean, this game could really be going either way at this point. The 2 TCs have been in effect for quite a while now. So Ungers is catching up in economy for sure. He picked off a few villagers, but wow, okay. This is a big one right here. The Swiss Pike are on the way for Dutch. These guys are always like a wild card. They could totally switch the game in Dutch's favor if they get a good angle of attack or get a good surround. But if they're forced to run and chase skirmishers, they can drop it pretty quickly and not be all that effective. It's really just how you're able to utilize them. And I think he's got a pretty good composition where he might be able to get a good surround or engagement. Unfortunately, you got a Hussar stuck in this bank over here. Poor guy. That's actually pretty sad because that is a valuable unit with Cav combat and Vet Hussar. So I like that he's making Hussar again. I think he's going to need to finish this batch out and then want to just go. Like, this is the time. This is the time right here. Swiss Pike are in. Look at all these vet Olin. We have Black Riders in the back. Here we go. This is a huge fight. It's all about positioning in this one. The Swiss Pike are on the left. Trees are in the way, but the Swiss Pike are so fast they're getting up on the back, the military of the German player. Vet Hussar just flanking in there between the trees, getting on the war wagon. Skirmishers shooting all those war wagons down. They're already... Well, there's actually one left in there somehow, but now it's finally dropping. Reuters are all over the place. Swiss Pike are mostly down. There's still a few left, but the sheer mass of Dutch units here looks like, wow, there's still some Olin there, and a lot of German skirmishers actually. Now, you know, this is like how typical German fights go. It looks like they're dead, and then somehow you get a few extra Olin, and they're right back in it. It's pretty even. How many? But a nice reinforcing batch of skirms. Julian's got 20 skirms versus 22. So Julian's going to have to utilize the Reuters and the Pike here. He's going to put those in cover mode and tank some shots, and that could give him the advantage. But wow, here's 5 vet Cav Combat Huss coming in. 5 Olin for Germany. This is definitely giving the edge to the Dutch player here. And this is going to be pretty tough for German to hold. A big shipment of Olin coming in for the German player, but is it too late? Trickling the units in rather than having them all at the same time. Minutemen coming as well, but there's just 9 vet Huss still. There's no way these guys are going down at this point. And that's just, yeah, just so much meat up front with the vet Hussar. Cav Combat. 432 HP, 40 attack. Not too shabby. That, and then even more, there's 13 vet Huss. This is where you would need Black Riders if you're Ungers. He does have 3 war wagons on the way. He's got 58 villagers. That is pretty solid, but I just don't think he's gonna have... Okay, he smartly shipped those war wagons back home, and they're at the TC, and he's gonna be able to get 10 skirm out safely because Julian is I'm not sure this is the right move. He's sieging the TC when he could be standing right on 2 barracks, 2 military buildings, where he could basically just force his opponent to never really get a good batch out. But maybe he's just confident enough that he just... Well, he's going in now, and there's only 3 war wagons there, so I don't... I mean, look at this. How many skirmishers do we have here? 27 skirms. He's getting all the arsenal upgrades as well, even though he doesn't need infantry breastplate, but he's getting that. And another batch of war wagons, but it's just not enough. These vet Hussar... This is what I love as Dutch. Getting the vet Hussar with Cav Combat. Following the timing switch is always so strong. If you can find a good point in the game to switch to vet Hussar, Cav Combat, really good unit, really tanky, and it just gives your Reuters something to keep in front of them because they're like glass cannons. They have good attack, especially versus Cav, but very low HP. So there's the GG, and that was a pretty close game. Very close fights here. The reinforcements really mattering quite a bit. The second TC play for Ungers not necessarily paying off. I think Julian just got like a pretty nice advantage early on in the game from treasures, and he had a really nice build to get 5 banks. 5 banks and a batch of pikes to help defend. Got up to age 3 in a nice time and was able to avoid sending a 1k wood. Here we take a look at the resource graphs. Julian significantly ahead all game, and even you could see early in the game this is the 700 wood and 600 wood that he sent. And what's really nice about this is he was able to avoid sending 700 coin. That's very, very important as Dutch. If you can avoid doing that and still get up to age 3 in a good time and safely without losing vills, that's where it really can click for you. You get 5 banks off of 2 resource crates and the bank wagon, and defend your vills. Especially in this matchup, it's pretty tough because you can usually get a few vills picked off if you're not careful, and if you only have 5 pike. So some good herding by Julian, keeping his vills safe. nice build, got up in a nice timely manner, and then was able to consistently produce from his stable and his barracks. So well done to Julian. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.